that trouser didn't fit your client because one, you took the right measurement and you did the wrong cutting. Secondly, you took a wrong measurement and you made also a wrong cutting. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to draft your basic trouser. You can also take the right measurements, do the right cutting, but in closing you apply wrongly. Okay, so stay tuned, don't go nowhere. We'll be drafting our trouser measurements. My client's trouser length is 39. 39 plus 2. 2 is for the seam allowance. We have 41. Have 41. Now you connect. This point becomes your waistline. This becomes your waistline. Now the hip of my client is 41. 41, okay? 41 divided by 4. 41 divided by 4 will give you what? 10.2. 10.2. You mark your 10.2. It connects. Here now becomes your hip line. All right. Now you apply your hip measurements, which is 41, 10.2 hip measurements plus 2.5 to your hip plus 2.5. Now my client's waist is 33 and a half. Okay. Now you divide 33.5 divide by 4, it will give you 8.375, approximately 8.5. all right, use 8.5 plus 1 inch at the waistline, plus 1 inch. All right, now you connect your real hip line to the waist allowance, okay, to the waistline allowance this way. Now you raise the hip line, that's we're trying to get our crouch now, with 2 inches. Raise by 2 inches. Use your French curve, connect this. All right, now our pockets opening, we use 2 inches. 2 inches. This varies. If you are sewing for a baby or a little boy or a baby, you can use 1 inch. For adult, 2 inches. All right. Now the pocket opening, since my waist, the client's waist is 33, I'll be using 7. I'll be using 7 so that the pockets won't be too long and won't be short, so that the hand can fit in freely. All right. Now we'll be slanting at this point. Now you slant with ½ inch. Slant with ½ inch. Now you connect to the tip of the waist. You slant it this way. Now the slanted now becomes the real waist at this point. Now you mark your ankle. My client's ankle is 13.5. all right, 13.5, then I'll be adding 2 inches. Once I mark my 13.5, 13.5 plus 2, so that while closing, I will have a little allowance left. Okay. So having done that, you connect from this point, from the hip allowance to your ankle allowance. From the hip allowance to the ankle allowance. Now this is what we have. Now also follow the slant. Remember, this now becomes our new waist. The slant, because our waist is not straight, it is slanted, all right, so that it will fit well at the waist region. Now you notch at the 7 inches, you notch just ½ inch inwards. Here you give a little notch also, a little notch for this effect. Now we'll be cutting our back panel. Always mark, especially when you have fabric that the front and the back are similar, like hardly you detect the front and the back, so always mark so that you won't end up losing after sewing. Okay, So now we're placing our back panel. We have arranged our back panel to be drafted. Now, at this tip here, from the crotch line, you raise by 1.5. Remember, we slanted the front with half inch. You raise 1.5, okay? 1.5 there. Now here, 2 inches. Here, 2, depending on the measurement you're working with. Here, I gave here 2.5, so I'm giving 2.5 here also, all right? Now, we connect this, okay? Now, your 1.5, you connect it to this tip, all right? For the slope effect. Now, at this point, you get your French curve or your free hand, you connect, all right? Make sure you connect the 2 lines. This is what we have here. Now, at this point, I give 2 inches downward. 2 inches, 2, 2. Then you connect your lines to 2 inches. Now, we are done with the back panel. Now we'll be cutting out this. Now we are done with, remember to mark, because the front and the back, they look alike. Okay, so we are done with the front and the back panel. Now we'll be cutting our zip flyer with our zip flap. We have 2 inches by 10. Now the next thing to cut out, we'll be cutting out our welt pockets. Four by 6, 4 by 8, cutting 4 by 8. 4 by 8 is the basic. Okay, 4 by 8. At least if the waist of 14, where's it? At least the finishing of the welt pocket will be 6 inches. So we'll be having extra 2 inches, one at each side. Okay, 4.8 is the basics. Is the basic measurement. All right. You can cut it at that to be safe. Chalk to differentiate the front from the back. All right. Now we'll be cutting the waist band. All right. Now the waistband we're using for this now is 4.5, not 2.5. That we're fixing our specially ordered to. All right. 2.5, the width of your waist. Now the waist divided by 2 plus 5 will be the length of your waistband. All right. Okay. Now we have our waistband 33.5. We have a 33.5 divided by 2 plus 5 will give us 21.7. 21.7. So approximately I'll be cutting at 22. All right, I'll be cutting at 22. Waist divided by 2 plus 5 will give you the length of the waistband you have to cut. Then the width, that means if you're putting the specially ordered or normal band. So for this, I'm using 4.5. If I'm going to fix specially ordered, I'll be using 2.5. 4.5. If you've seen English trousers having little or no allowance after sewing, that is another one of it. For English trousers, for foreign and all. But with this method, this basic method, you have enough allowance. Now you decide to leave the amount of inseam of seam allowance that you want to leave. Okay. While using this method, you will have enough allowance so that once the client wants an adjustment increase, you will have enough room to adjust the measurement. But if you use the other pattern, you will not have any other space for adjustments. So all you have to do is dash it out, my brother. And you know that feeling when you like one outfit so much, and unfortunately there's no more room for you to adjust it. My brother, I'm on you. It pain. Man, no lie, I beg. Now we are done with this our waistband. Let's hold that the length 28. All right, length 28, 4 by 6, length 28. So you can cut at 30. 1.5 to give it a sharp but look. Okay. Please like and share this video so that others will partake of this goodness. You get what I mean. So after that, now our pocket facing. That's cut out on this one. You will see the shape there. You cut out your zip flap and your pocket facing. Now Now, in this video, I've been able to show you how to draft your basic trouser and not to confuse you with these few points of mine. We have our waistband and this and all and all. Okay, see you in the next video, and don't forget to like, subscribe. All right, this is Unique Clothing. See you in our top cutting.